Hey guys, welcome to Selenium with Java September 2023 batch online training session 1. So in today's session, I will try to cover what is the objective of the training topics to be covered and additional benefit from the training, what is software testing and the principle, what is automation testing and why we are performing the automation testing coverage and key consideration, automation testing life cycle, introduction to Selenium WebDriver, advantages and disadvantages, and the setup you need to require, right, to start your journey using Selenium WebDriver, how to install Java, then Eclipse, then WebDriver, along with, right, the Chrome and Gecko driver, and how to create your first script using Selenium WebDriver for the Chrome browser or the Firefox browser. What are web elements and web element locator, and what are the different operations you can perform on web page, browser, WebEdit box and link. So this will be covered in today's session. So what is the objective of the training? So here, like, I will purely focus on the automation part. So after training is over, you will be able to gain the confidence on Selenium WebDriver, basic advanced Java, like TestNG, data-driven, keyword, hybrid framework, along with BDD Cucumber, and some sort of Maven and JUnit as well. Okay, so once you get the confidence, once you are joining the session on time, practicing it, going through the document, sample code, then I could assure that within the 2 to 3 months time, right, after the complete practice, you will be confident enough and you can, right, create the framework from the scratch by your own. So that is the objective here. To start your journey on the automation, you can learn Selenium automation tool, you can learn Java, and you can learn the different framework as well. So training topics to be covered and additional benefit from the training. So this is the syllabus I already shared you guys. So you could see from the Selenium WebDriver there will be 3 topics, 3 classes. So day 1 and day 2 will be covered in Selenium WebDriver. Then we will go to the Java. So 4 days will be there from the Java, right, starting with different loop, right, the different kind of conditional statement, constructor, methods, then Java ops concept, then Java collection framework, multi-threading. Then again day 7 will complete the remaining Selenium WebDriver related topics like frame, capturing screenshot, alert, right, cookies. Then we'll go to two more session for the TestNG framework, then 2 more session for the data-driven keyword hybrid framework and how you can interact with the, right, Excel sheet with the help of the Apache PY. And the last sessions will be on the BDD and Cucumber, along with the different kind of reporting also, like how you can create different Cucumber report, HTML, JSON, XML, along with extend report. Those are the things will be covered in the upcoming 12th session, and hopefully we will be able to complete in the month of September and October. So apart from that, as part of the bonus, right, I will be sharing the videos whatever already recorded for the GitHub, Jenkins, and also on the complete framework creation for the page object model. And once the session is over, we will be sharing like close to 1000 interview question answer. I already shared couple of cheat sheet also, I think, whenever you have like enroll for the session. But once the session is over, like I'll be sharing those questions which will help you, right, to learn few of the areas. And definitely once the session is over, after you give the honest time, right, to join the session, practice it, right, going through the videos, document multiple time, you will be definitely able to, right, gain the confidence to develop the framework from the scratch. So so what is software testing and principle? So before going to that, right, in case you are really new to the IT industry, I will take couple of minutes to cover it. Okay, so I have been started long back, at least 30 years back, right, IT, then 30 to 40 years back. And whenever IT, right, industry started or information technology started, right, 20 years back, there was no concept of individual right, testing team or the QA team, quality assurance team. But after 20 years, before 20 years, that concept came called quality assurance team or the QA team or the testing team. Okay, so before that, right, only developer used to do all kind of stuff, BA role, right, QA role, support role, all kind of stuff. But nowadays, right, I mean, information technology has been segregated in different departments like development, then testing, support, business analyst, domain expert, scrum master, networking team, management, and leadership team. So that is the way. right? Apart from that, in the organization like HR, finance, everything will be there, but I am talking about the core IT. Okay. And in case before software testing was there, so development team used to do all kind of testing by their own. But what problem happened, so I have heard the news from most of the development team when testing team existence was not there, right? They said that like once the product is deployed in the production, they used to expect like 30 to 40 defect or 50 defect like minimal, and like 1 or 2 weeks time they used to fix those problem. But nowadays, as we are starting the testing from the early phase, means whenever requirement is not finalized, yes, from that phase we are starting the testing. There are a lot of different kind of testing, like before the product is also ready, like API testing, other testing. So our aim is that, right, to identify the defect as much as possible at the early stage, why it is required. So in case you are able to find the defect at the early stage, your overall, right, efforts or your, right, kind of billing will be reduced, or overall budget will be reduced, because early defect fix will be reducing the overall cost of the project. So that is the reason nowadays everyone's motto to identify the defect at the earliest stage as at the earliest stage as possible, so that overall project like cost can be reduced, and also definitely the timeline can be reduced, or maybe we can meet that timeline. Okay. So what is software testing? Software testing is the process of evaluating and verifying that a software product or application does what is expected to do. So what is expected to do means what it will do. So whenever we will be running any project, right, so first we will be getting some requirement from the customer or the business. We will be going through the requirement, so requirement will be our bible. And even nowadays, in case we are finding any flaws in the requirement, right, so we will be also letting the customer know also, so we are correcting the requirement. So that is the reason nowadays testing is starting from the early stage, and at the earliest we can right, identify the defect, overall cost of the project will be reduced. So based on the requirement, development team also need to develop their product, right, do the development, and testing team also need to certify that whatever written in the requirement, right, your product or your application is behaving the same way or not. In case any deviation, you will be raising as a defect. So what is defect? Defect is the deviation, right, between the expected and the actual part. And for the defect, right, you will be using some test management or the defect management tool. So software testing involves execution of software or system component using manual or automated tools to evaluate one or more properties of interest. The purpose of software testing is to identify error, gaps, or missing requirement in respect to actual requirement. The benefit of testing includes the preventing bug or isolating the bug, reducing development cost, improving overall performance, and avoiding any real-time issue. Okay. So before completing the software testing, there are like software development lifecycle (SDLC) and software testing lifecycle (STLC), and bug lifecycle or defect lifecycle is there. So what is software development lifecycle, which software development team used to follow, right, for the project? So first they will be gathering the requirement, then they will be developing the prototype, right, and they will be completing the development, then it will come to the testing team for the testing, then any kind of defect, right, that will be resolved by the development team, then, right, your project will be go live, right, after everything completed, all the defect fixes. Then after project is completed also, you'll be supporting your product or project, right, for couple of months time as during the warranty phase, or sometimes there will be support for throughout the maybe 5 year 10 years agreement as well. So that is the concept of SDLC or software development lifecycle. And then as part of the testing, software testing lifecycle will be there, where you will be gathering the requirement, you will be creating the plan or strategy for the testing, right, you will be creating first test scenario and then test cases, right, and then you will be going for the execution phase, where first you will be identifying the environment to execute, right, then you will be doing all kind of testing. I will discuss what different kind of testing you can certify. You will be raising the bug, you will be like detecting the bug, then as a part of the closure you will be, right, creating the test summary report, and then also you can part of the UAT also, and you can also part of the support or warranty project as well. So as part of bug or defect lifecycle, in case you are identifying any kind of bug or defect, what you will be doing? First, you will be sometime offline, you can check with the requirement double check or maybe developer. Then you will be logging as a bug in the like any kind of tool. It can be Jira, it can be ALM, it can be Rally, right? It can be Dev Azure as well. So these are the different kind of tool also available in the market, which is having the test management or defect management process associated. After defect is raised, so it will be assigned to the development team, and in case development team finds it's invalid, they will rejecting it simply. In case this is valid, they will be trying to fix it, or maybe they will try to update the requirement. And then once the fix is done, it will come to the QA team again or testing team again. They will retest it again, and in case it is not fixed, again it will go to the development team for the fix. In case it is fixed, you can close the defect. Sometime you can again, similar defect is coming, you can reopen the defect, or you can again open a new defect. Sometime in case defect is not valid by the development team, right, they'll be rejecting the defect. So rejection as a tester, your objective will be that defect should be valid as much as possible and rejection rate will be reduced. Similarly, for the development side, their objective will be that like testing team will be racing as many defects as possible. Also, in case you are logging a defect, right, they will try to nullify. So for that one, there will be some sort of meeting daily basis or the weekly basis as a defect triage, where you can discuss all the artifact, right, and with the proven thing. Means testing cannot be done without the proper screenshot of the document, because sometime today it is working, tomorrow it is not working. Until you are having the evidence, you cannot fight with the product owner, scrum master, developer, or your management team also. So whatever testing you are doing, it does not matter whether it's a manual testing, functional testing, API testing, performance testing, or the automation testing. Always, right, you need to safeguard yourself. So you need to keep the screenshot or create document for all kind of testing, whatever you are doing at the end throughout the day. So this is the different life cycle I have covered, and there are some sort of methodology, right, nowadays, or from the starting of the IT journey we are following. So previously it was waterfall methodology. Waterfall methodology means like development team used to take couple of months time, right, to create the product. After that, once the product is completely developed, then it's used to come to the QA team, and QA team is to certify. But during that waterfall model, it's found that like around 30 to 40% project is like getting scrapped. Why? Because development team is taking some time, and after more time, right, than expected, right, or maybe the product is not up to the mark, huge number of critical like defect is encountered, they are not able to fix it. So that is the reason nowadays like the strategy got changed, and nowadays most of are using the agile methodology, where there will be concept of called sprints. It can be like 2 to 4 week sprint. In every sprint there will be small stream, like 1 or 2 tester, 2 or 3 developer, product manager, your scrum master, product owner, and they will be creating some sort of requirement, and every sprint they will try to develop the requirement, try to test the requirement, try to kind of deploy the thing in the project, so that, right, with very minimal time, right, every sprint or every month or twice in a month or quarterly, they can have some real time benefit, whatever effort or whatever like kind of cost they are spending, business is spending, so they can get the real time benefit. And in agile, right, I mean first it will be start with the planning, and then there will be like daily call where everybody can interact, everybody can, right, discuss the blocker or showstopper, and at the end of the thing, right, we can have the retrospection, so that we can discuss what went well, what did not went well, all this stuff. Okay, so as part of the testing, right, there are different kind of testing we can perform, starting from the development, starting from the like the testing team also. So first, whenever your product is like ready, or maybe its module is ready, development team used to do the unit testing by their own. They want to find out that isolated component is working fine or not, any kind of defect they used to fix by themselves. After that, it used to come to the testing team. So first they will start with the sanity testing, whether to certify that like basic thing is working or not. In case sanity is passed, they can go with the like functional testing, right, where they can do system testing for the isolated component. Then they can go with the integration testing or the SIT, system integration. right? Once the all the integration is done, right, different components integrated, then testing team can do the end-to-end testing to validate that, right, end-to-end flow or life cycle is working fine or not. And every, right, testing, there will be some sort of defects will be coming, right, or maybe requirement changes will be there, or maybe the development team will be integrating more and more components, so there will be some build will be coming to the QA team in the testing environment. So that is the reason, right, you can today whatever testing you can do, you cannot certify that even after 2 month time there will be no breakage in the existing application. So for that one, in case more defect fixes, more releases is coming, right, after before the ending of the thing, you need to certify that your existing functionality is also not impacting. So regression testing should be there to certify that existing thing is also working. Then there will be UAT testing, which will be done by the development side, by the customer, right, which is called acceptance testing. There can be two type of testing, alpha and beta. Alpha will be done at the development end, and beta can be done at the customer end. And apart from that, there are different kind of non-functional testing can be there, like performance testing, load testing, stress testing, security testing also will be there. So these are the different kind of testing overall we'll be doing, and definitely few will be manual, like few will be automated, and few will be API also, different thing will be there. So what is error, fault and failure? A human action that produces an incorrect result is an error. Manifestation of an error is in software or in implementation is fault. But in case you are not right kind of rectifying your fault, there can be failure, which will nothing but the deviation of the software from its expected delivery or service. Any human being can make an error or mistake which can produce as a defect or bug or fault in the code or in the software or in the product or in the application. But if that product is not rectified or the defect is not like kind of fixed, right, and the code is executed, system might fail and it can create a huge failure, right, it can crash the system, right, also. So I am trying to give a simple example in the real time, forget about the IT, so that you can remember. Suppose say we are human being. Sometime, right, we used to take alcohol, we used to smoking, we used to take fast food regular basis, oily food, kind of fried food daily basis. So because of that, this is called error. We know by ourselves that should not be the case, but we are still doing it. So these are the error. Sometime knowingly, sometime unknowingly we are doing it as a human being. So because of this behavior, right, some fault might be came into our body. We might have some problem in the gastric, right, in the heart or in the different organ in the human being. So that is called fault. Because of the error, we are having some fault in the body. And then what you need to do in case you are having some fault, you need to go to the doctor, and doctor will prescribe for you some test, right, or some medication, some surgery like that. So that is called prevention, right, from the fault, right, so that your body will not be damaged completely, and sometimes there will be chances of death as well. But in case you are not going to doctor, you are still doing it though your problem is there, so it can create a failure or the crash. So that is the real time example of error, fault and failure. So in case error can be there knowingly, unknowingly, for that fault might be coming, but we need to rectify those fault, we need to fix those defects so that your product will still be in good shape. So how can error or bug or defect can come in the system? So we all are human being, right? So we can do some mistakes knowingly or unknowingly because of our knowledge, all this stuff. There might be miscommunication of the poor requirement, right? Requirement might be not up to date sometime, right? And business analyst or the right or maybe the business side, they are like not updating regularly, some gap is there, or communication is not proper with the different team member. Then working under pressure, right, tight deadline, budget restriction, or other conflict priority. Sometime, right, you know that to complete the project it might take 9 months time, but due to other priority, business is saying that no, you need to complete 6 month time. So that is the thing, right? Sometimes deadline is not there, is no enough budget, right? Sometimes they are kind of cutting some of the developer or the QA. They know that some risk might be there. Complexity of the technology of the infrastructure. Sometime, right, you need to work on the new technology for which you are not having the right skill of resources. Then poorly documented code with the proper review. So sometime you are developing the code, right, you are testing something but no proper reviewing happening. peer review, lead review is not happening, or due to the environment condition also. Sometime, right, you would require some sort of environment to do the testing, but the environment is not up to the mark, infrastructure is not proper, those kind of stuff for which like error or defect might come into the system. So there are 7 software testing principles which, like as a QA team or as a testing team, we need to follow it. All the tests should meet the customer requirement. That is the basic principle or the Bible for us. Like we need to verify everything based on the software customer requirement. Software testing should be performed by independent third-party team. That is the reason existence of the QA team came into the market, because the mindset should be different. In case one person is doing the requirement, developing the product, doing the testing, mindset will not differ, because in case you are a unique person, your mindset, your strategy will be differed, right? So that is the reason independent team will be there. Exhaustive testing is not possible. Sometime due to the limitation, due to the time crunch, right, you will not be getting some time, right, to do the complete testing. So what you need to do, you need to do the risk based testing, RBT, right, through which you can prioritize the test cases like critical, high, medium, and then you can first start with the critical test cases, then the high, and then medium and low, like that. Unless you are having the complete time to do all the testing, you can still use the risk based testing. There might be some risk, right, some defect might be uncovered, but still, right, you can, right, cover the maximum more critical test cases. All the tests should be conducted, right, before your product is go live. There is no point, once your product is ready and already implemented in the production environment, there is no point of doing any kind of testing. So your product is ready, like you can do all kind of testing, starting with functional, non-functional, automation, performance, everything, API also. It follows the Pareto rule, 80-20 rule, which states that 80% defect will be right identifying from the 20% area. So that is the reason business knowledge, domain knowledge will be required for the tester as well. So you know that these are the critical area from which I can discover most of the defect. So you can focus those area, you can cover, you can create more and more test cases, right? You can create more regression testing on those areas, so that like maximum defect can be covered. Start testing with small part and extend it to the large part. So that is the reason testing will start from the unit, right? System testing, system integration, end to end, like that. So you cannot start end to end, otherwise everything will be blocker and you can miss some defect. So that is the reason from the smallest component, right, to the integration to the end to end flow, you should do the testing. Early testing saves times and money. So definitely as early, right, testing team will be involving in the project, they'll be starting the testing. It will definitely, right, they will definitely discover the defect at the early stage, and it will help the project to reduce the overall timeline or the cost. So why automation testing? So as of now, right, before 5 years back also, right, we are talking about the automation, maybe 5-10% project they are using automation, but nowadays customer expectation is that like more than like 50%, 60%, 70% project they need to automate. Okay, so we are doing the manual testing, right, we are like creating our test cases, we are creating the scenario, we are creating the like mapping the requirement testability matrix, right, and we'll be doing the testing, different kind of testing, we are identifying with the actual expected behavior mismatch, we'll be logging as a defect. But those kind of stuff, right, create lot of problem. That is the reason, right, automation testing is really required, right, so that, right, we can have less manual intervention. Time consuming, because in case you are having limited time and you are having like limited resources, right, you cannot complete the testing on time. So that what will happen, you will be having more and more risk, because you will not able to complete the intended testing on time. Incomplete coverage. So suppose say today you want to execute the same test case with 20 different combination of data, or 20 different 5 different browser, 5 different operating system. So the problem is that you would require the manual intervention. But if you want to automate it, same test case you can run it through automation, through different combination of data, different browser, different operating system, like that. It will not be manual intervention required, so you can easily do it. Higher chances of risk. Sometime your team might not be up to the mark, it's combination of junior senior folks, right, they are not taking the project seriously sometime, or they are intentionally missing something, or maybe like without knowing thing they are missing something. So those kind of thing you can avoid in case you are trying to automate, right, with the proper review. Maintaining project deadline. In case you are doing automation, right, definitely it will be very easy for you to maintain the project deadline or overload deadline. Manual regression testing, that is the very important stuff, right, because every time, right, you like whenever you will be getting new build, right, you need to do some sort of sanity or the regression testing. But through manual it will again time consuming. But if you want to automate them, right, so that you will simply running the automation script. Even nowadays automation script also can be integrated with the different CI/CD tool like Jenkins, Bamboo, all this stuff, and automatically, in case your build is happening, automatically your tool will be integration, CI/CD integration pipeline will try to execute your smoke or regression test, and will certify that build is fine or not. In case it is not fine, they will revert back, right, to the development team. Again they will fix it, and then again you will, right, build for the new code. So that is the way, without manual intervention, right, the regression sanity suit, which is really required multiple times, that can be possible with the automation testing. So these are the bottleneck for which automation testing came into the market. What is automation testing? Automation testing is a software testing method or technique to test any application and compare the actual result with the expected result. This can be achieved by designing test script using any relevant automation tool, programming language, and the proper framework. In manual testing, test cases we used to execute manually without any proper support from relevant tools. However, during automation testing, test cases will be executed with the assistance of one or more appropriate tools. Automation testing also more reliable as there is less chances of human error. In manual testing, test cases will be executing, any kind of testing will be doing it manually, so it might be time consuming. However, in automation testing, initial time you need to spend some time, right, to develop the framework, to create it from the scratch. But once your framework is ready, you can execute n number of time with very minimal time. Okay, so automation testing carry out the same test script again and again with more precision or accuracy. These results are generally made available to everyone concerned in the least possible amount of time. And also nowadays there are a hell lot of like tools is there, and those tools are also integrated with different tools. So that is the reason nowadays it is not only automation, it is also like kind of automating everything, automation of the automation, right? So we are developing the script, and also we are like integrating with the like different kind of repository, we are storing it, and also with from that particular store, right, we are also integrating so that as and when some build will be triggering, right, everything will be run. So that is the thing we'll be doing. So automation testing as an upfront cost, and they do take time initially for the development. The investment will pay off in the long term in terms of reduced workload, eliminating manual errors, accuracy, and saving on cost and time. Okay, I will just cover 2 or 3 more topics, then I will take a pause for any question. So nowadays, what are the area you will be first focusing on the automation, because this concept is really required, guys. I know you are working for a couple of years in the IT, but this concept might be helpful, like for all of you. So first we should focus that whatever will be, you need to run it maximum time, right? So that is the reason you can go with the smoke testing first, then you can go with the regression test, then you can go with the functional end-to-end, all this stuff. And nowadays you can also create the test script for the end-to-end build lifecycle validation, and also you can create some script for the test data creation. Suppose say today in your project you need to create 200 data for same combination, so you can just create a script and you can run it for 200 times, so the 200 data will be created, and you can use it for manual testing or analysis, any kind of stuff. So these are the different kind of testing you can nowadays you can consider the automation. So before automation you need to make sure couple of stuff, then you can automate. First thing is that you need to make sure that your requirement is frozen, right, and requirement is stabilized. Otherwise, in case you are automating and tomorrow requirement got changed, you need to change everything. Your product is at least stabilized. Otherwise you cannot automate even, right? In case you are having some sort of blocker, right, you cannot automate, proceed it. Okay, in case there's a big project, there's a time crunch, right? And in case some project is having the same functionality using again and again and again, these are the kind of stuff you need to focus before automation. So what are the key consideration before choosing any automation testing solution? So you need to find out what kind of technology to be automated. Can you proceed for open source tool or commercial license tool? Okay, because sometimes your customer will not, right, give any payment for the license tool, so you should need to go to the open source tool like Selenium. How much training is required for the implementation of test automation? Because right, you are not having the right required skill set, right, required resources. Okay, then you cannot proceed on the automation. So your required skill set will be there. Okay, so you need to right, make your team ready. You need to give the proper training so they can enable before starting the automation. Does the tool match user current software testing process? Means whatever tool you are selecting, that tool support different integration or not, right, or the other stuff you can do it. Do I prefer in-house implementation or do I want to outsource the test automation activity? So these are the kind of stuff you need to consider before doing the before finding the solution. And apart from that, two things you need to do. So whenever you will be right, kind of starting any automation journey, first thing is that you need to do POC. Here POC is not the point of contact, guys. Okay, POC is here proof of concept. So in case you know that these are the thing, this is my requirement, so you will be analyzing that what is the different kind of thing you need to automate, what tool might be solved, like might be help you to solve all the problem, what are the different kind of integration you can do with the tool, then you can finalize the tool. So this is called POC or proof of concept. The second thing, you need to calculate ROI, which is called return on investment. ROI, return on investment, right? So we cannot automate, right, whatever we want to do. So before that you need to calculate that whatever investment you are doing on the automation script development, right, what actual benefit you are getting. Otherwise there is no point of automation most of the time, 95% of the time. So that is the reason you should focus on the area like the mock, regression, end-to-end life cycle, so that those things can be executed n number of time with very minimal effort. So I am giving a simple example. Suppose say you are having 100 test cases and you need to execute the test cases. So to execute you would require 10 days for one time. But if you want to automate them, you might require 40 days. So we will be able to proceed with the automation. So answer will be no. Why? Because you are simply losing 30 days, right, mode. But my condition I am changing it. So your ROI will be not be good. So you should not proceed with the automation. But now my condition is changing. So your 100 test case you need to execute for 10 times. So manually, first time might take 10 hours and remaining time might be 8 hours. So you will be requiring around 8 to 85% day, right, for running 100 test case 10 times or 10 iteration. But for automation script development you are spending only 40 days, and for maintaining you require another 10 days and to run every 100 test case you might require 5 total days. So you would be requiring like total 55 days. But now here you could see you are able to save 25 to 30 more days through automation. So your ROI will be positive, right? So you should go with the automation. Sometimes customers say that forget about the ROI, like you need to automate it. So that part you can do it. Otherwise, most of the time you need to first like do the POC and then you need to calculate the ROI or return on investment. In case it is positive, then you should go with the automation. Otherwise, it will be there is no point on the investment. Automation testing life cycle. So similar like the SDLC bug lifecycle, automation testing lifecycle will be there. First planning, then design, enhancement, right, running and debugging and analyzing the report result. So in the planning, you'll be analyzing the requirement, you'll be analyzing the application, you'll be analyzing the right test cases or the suite what you need to automate. You'll be identifying the right different object. Then you'll be starting your design. You'll be creating the page object library for different pages. You'll be creating the reusable component, right? You'll be creating the different element locator and you'll be adding the script. Then you need to enhance the script once script is ready, right? Because your automation objective is not only from end to end like navigation, you also validate, you need to assert the thing. So you need to add the verification point or assertion. You need to parameterize. Same thing you can do it different number of combination. You need to handle the expected and unexpected error. Then your script is ready, right? You need to go for some sort of sanity run. You need to make sure that those are running properly, right? In case of any failure, right, you need to isolate the problem, you need to fix those problem, right? You need to kind of make them ready in the actual run. After that, during actual run, you'll be running them. You need to, right, find out that what problem is coming. Sometimes some problem might be false failure. Say today, right, sometime for 5 minutes time your network gone, right? So those 5 minutes everything will fail, but that is not the real failure. So you need to isolate those failure. You need to see that what is real failure and the what is like false failure. For the false failure part, you can again run it, and the real failure part, right, you can go for the defect logging. Then you need to also generate the automation life cycle, right? I mean summary report as well, and you can share with the different respective stakeholder. It can be customer, it can be internal or other organization as well. So what are the different automation testing tool, right, you might came across, right, as of now? So there are few sort of like free tools or license tools available. Selenium is a very powerful free tool, especially for the web application testing and different browser OS combination. EFT or the QFT is especially for the non-web application like the Windows, the client server based application with but is a license tool with the built-in object features. RFT or rational functional tester also support automation testing for functional regression, GUI, data driven, which is also license tool. Tosca is also now a powerful license tool, right, for functional regression testing of various software product. Silk is also license tool for regression, mobile, desktop and web application testing. Sequely is an open source tool for GUI testing. SOAP UI Postman is an kind of free tool for API testing. API also free tool for the mobile testing, right, native web testing, app testing or the mobile web application testing. TestNG is the framework, right, which is supporting Selenium, APM and REST assured. JUnit also framework which is supported by the developer. Apart from that, using JUnit you can also you can JUnit also can be used in the BD Cucumber framework also. Apart from that, there are a huge number of tools like Cypress, then Playwright, right, then your Catalan Studio. Other tool is available also in the market, mostly licensed tool, okay, for any kind of testing like web based API testing, or maybe the client server based or the Windows based application testing, okay. And I think for the performance testing there are like tool called JMeter, like Neoload, all the stuff is there for the performance testing. The types of Selenium. When Selenium came into the market, it was Selenium ID or Selenium Integrated Data Environment, which was a Firefox add-on through which you can like create relative simple test script and test suite, right, using play and record mechanism. But nowadays nobody is using. After that, Selenium RC or remote control came into the market, right? So Selenium remote control or RC is also known as Selenium 1, which is the first Selenium tool which allowed user to use programming language in creating complex tests. Then Selenium WebDriver came into the market, which is the newer breakthrough which allows user test script to communicate directly to the browser, thereby controlling it to the OS operating system level. Then Selenium RC and Selenium WebDriver integrated, Selenium 2, 3 and nowadays Selenium 4 is also available. And Selenium Grid is another component of Selenium. So it is a tool used together with Selenium remote control to run parallel testing. So what is parallel testing means? Same test case you can do or you can execute in different browser or different operating system combination as well. So these are the type of uh, 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 these are the type of Selenium, right, or the component of Selenium. What are the advantage of Selenium? So it is open source tool, right? So you no need to give any buy license. So scripting can be done in different language. It supports Java, C hash, Python, PHP, Perl, etc. It can support different operating system like Mac, Linux, and Windows. It supports different popular browser like Firefox, Opera, Safari, Chrome. Selenium Gids helps in parallel distributed testing. It uses very less hardware, right? Even 1 GB RAM you can also do. In case you want to use EFT, it minimum requirement is 4 GB RAM, otherwise system performance will be really slow. Disadvantage: Selenium WebDriver require programming language requirement for the test creation. No formal vendor support will be getting it, right, from the like commercial tool UFT, Tosca, etc. There is no object repository concept of Selenium. Maintainability of object becomes difficult. And in case you want to read or write like data from the CSV, Excel sheet, or the like database, you need to rely on some sort of external, right, different integration, and you need to create your own customized library of the framework. So Selenium WebDriver is the main component of the Selenium, so which also is having like multiple advantages. It support different browser like Chrome, Firefox, Opera, also support Android, iOS browser as well. Like it is like support different like operating system, different programming language. It is faster than Selenium, different other suite. It controls the browser by programming. It support data-driven testing or the cross-browser testing, and it supports the parallel testing using JUnit or testing framework. So I will take a pause for the different like kind of knowledge I have tried to cover it here. So any questions, guys, we can discuss before going to the like implementation part. So this is the first session, might be some sort of theory will be there, but now onward it will be more and more practical. 20 to 30% will be the theory, and 70 to 80% will be practical only. So I'll be taking a pause, guys. Any questions, anyone? Yes. Yeah, in UAT, right, there will be two kind of stuff. One is the alpha testing, one is beta testing. Primarily, UAT is the user acceptance testing. Will be doing with the customer. Sometimes they can do at the development end, right? Means the another environment, and sometimes they can do the testing at their end. So this is called beta testing. Alpha testing will be done at the developer end, and beta testing will be done by the customer end, customer side directly. Okay, where nowadays also normal QA can support on data creation and other stuff also UAT, but UAT primarily will be, or acceptance testing will be done by the customer side only. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, nowadays support Windows with the help of Winium. So that is the result is called Selenium plus Winium called Celium. So through which we can do it. But I did not try it as of now. But nowadays, I think last 2 or 3 years, it is supporting Windows-based application as well. Yeah, yeah, it is supporting nowadays. No, no, no. Nowadays supporting. Okay. So Selenium plus Winium. There is an application called Winium. So this is called Celium, through which you can do the Windows-based application as well, along with web-based. Yeah. Any other question, guys? We will take the question. No worry. Okay. We can extend the thing for 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes time, but I will try to clarify all the questions you are having. So, am I audible throughout the session as of now? Are you able to grasp me, or I am going too fast, guys? Okay. So you know that I mean most of the stuff, but still I have tried to give information, right? So that few of the information you might heard for the first time. Okay. Yeah, but going forward it will be more and more practical only. So this is the first 30-40 minutes time, right? I used to give some kind of theoretical knowledge as well. Hmm. Yeah, it's Selenium WebDriver. WebDriver. So Selenium IDE nobody is using, right? So Selenium WebDriver, which is the WebDriver plus RC integrated, and then Selenium 2, 3, and nowadays Selenium 4 is also available. I will let you know what you can, how you can do the installation, all this stuff. No worry. Yeah, now you can tell that Selenium WebDriver. Okay, and yeah, now Windows is operating system, right? Windows, Mac, and Linux. Yeah. No, 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 no. We can do the Windows, Mac, or Linux, three thing. We can do it Selenium WebDriver. So here I'll be showing it with Windows only. Okay, that can be possible. Mac, Windows, Linux, everything. Yeah. Any other questions by anyone? Any kind of small doubt you can ask also. No worry. Okay. You no need to be worry at all. Okay, we'll discuss it here so that you can get the complete knowledge. Yeah, I think programming required nowadays is not only the basics, so advanced Java also will be required. So whatever will be really required, that thing will be covered in Java. So the basic kind of data type, then different loop, then different kind of conditional statement, right? Then the like concept of method, then concept of the ops concept, like the polymorphism, abstraction, inheritance, all this stuff, and also the Java collection framework, like starting with the linked list, array list, hash set, hash map, all this stuff, along with Java multi-threading. So these are the things. Whatever is really required to start your journey in the this part will be covered here only, and you can learn and you can get the good confidence. Yeah, nowadays only basic programming language will not work, right? In case you want to right go in the complex area, so you need require some sort of advanced knowledge as well in the programming. But I'm not saying that the kind of knowledge is required like just like the development team. No, it is not like that. But whatever is really required to start your journey in the Selenium, I'll be covering here in the topics. Okay, guys, then we'll go for the actual implementation now. So what are the prerequisites for Selenium WebDriver? You can have like Mac or like Linux or maybe the Windows system. So first you would need to install the Java. Okay, so September onwards Java 1.8 will be not be supported by Selenium. So you require minimum Java 1.11 version minimum. I think nowadays Java 20 is also available, but you can go anything like which is beyond Java 11. So this is the site link also provided. Okay, here you don't need to worry. This is the link provided. So you can go to the site right after you open the site. Okay, you could see you can go for Linux. In case it's a Mac, you can go to the tab. In case you're a Windows, you can go to the tab, and you can go for any thing, right? So it is the 20 version Java. You can go 17 version also, whatever, but any version beyond 11 is fine. Or if you require Java 11 also, but do not use Java 8 now, because September onwards Selenium will not support Java 8. Okay, that is the path you can go. Now you could see this is for Linux, this is for Mac, this is for Windows. You can click on the Windows, then you can click here like 864 installer. You can click it, and then right you need to create a account for the Oracle site, and you can install it. So once Java is installed, just simply click next button after creating the account. It is now nothing very much tough. So you can download and install it. Once it is installed, right, it will be showing like that. It will be there in the C drive. Okay, C drive program files. There will be Java, and you could see this is that thing will be there. JDK, right? One so 1911 both things installed in my system. So after it is installed, then you need to map it right with your computer. Okay, how you can do it? So you can go to your computer, right click here, go to the properties. There's an option called advanced system setting. You can go to the advanced tab, you can go to the environment variable, and here you need to click on new. and you need to create a variable called java underscore home, and then you need to give the path of here. So for any version path, this path you can give it here. So new, and here you can give this name java underscore home, and you can give that path till that path, right? Simply copy and paste it here. So that is the first thing you need to do for the user variable. Then in the down there is system variable. So there's a path variable already there, right? Path variable. So you need to simply click on new, and here you need to click on till bin, and this path you need to give in the path variable. So it's already there. You could see for like JDK I have set up with 11, so it's already there. So java underscore home in the system user variable, and the system variable path you need to give till the bin folder. This path you need to do. Once this is drawn, you can open, right, Windows command prompt. So you can press Windows R, and you can type here cmd command prompt to open command prompt, and you can give something called java space hyphen version. So automatically you could able to see what are the things already installed. So I have set up, but Java 19 also installed. That is the reason latest version will be displayed here. So you already know that Java is installed. Otherwise, it will throw some error that not found like that. So this is the first part. Then you need to install Eclipse, or maybe the IntelliJ also you can go with that. Okay, anything is fine. This is called integrated data environment of the IDE, Eclipse or IntelliJ. Okay. So I am most familiar with Eclipse, but still I can go with the IntelliJ also. Okay. So this is the second URL I already given. Okay. So this is the thing you can go with that. In case you are having Windows, so you can simply click on the that link and you can download. Once it is download, it will be zip file. Just simply download it, zip file. You need to unzip it. Okay. And you need to unzip it, and automatically once you unzip it, okay, so 1 second, then automatically some folder will be created here. I think let's see, it's already this PC drive, already downloaded. Okay, then this is the kind of stuff will be there, Eclipse, right, ID for Java developer. So this is the part, right? Simply go download and set it up. Automatically some shortcut will be created. Otherwise, their folder will be there for the Eclipse. Okay, and you can simply open the exe file and you can simply open the Eclipse. So if you double click here, the first time it will be asking you for creating some workspace. So any workspace you can give it. So automatically all your code, all your folder structure will be saved into that workspace only. Okay, then you can simply click on launch. So this is the only one time activity. After that it will be launched, and it will be looking like here after launching it. But initially there will be no project, but here I have created a lot of projects. That is the reason into the project explorer the project is showing, but initially there will be no project for your, in case you are starting it from the scratch. Yes, yes, yeah, recording will be there, no worry. Okay, and the PPT will be also shared. Okay, so that you can get all the link from the PPT. Okay, then next one is you need to download the Selenium WebDriver. So what is WebDriver? WebDriver is a jar file, right, where you will be having all the methods and all your interfaces. Sorry. Yeah, yeah, Java developer I told, right? This is the one, right? This is the one, Java developer. Okay, so this is the best one. Okay, I told 1 second. So this simply, okay, just copy it again here. So no need to sharp anything. Okay, just copy my URL only, whatever given. So automatically you will be getting the link. Okay, so this is the simple thing. You need to just copy it here. Do not go with the other version. I will refer that go with the Java developer version. If you simply right type it here, you'll be getting that one. Do not go with the first one. You'll be going to that one. Okay, Eclipse ID for Java developer. Okay, Then you need to go with that Selenium WebDriver download. Okay, so this is the link here. So Selenium jar file will be there to download. So nowadays 4 version is available, but you can go with the 3 stable version as well. So just I think last couple of months Selenium 4 came into the market. Okay, I am still using Selenium 3, but I have planned some to create some video for Selenium 4. Only little bit changes only, but I mean it is not major changes. Okay, so how can you go it? This is the Selenium site official downloading for the jar file, right? This is the downloaded for 60-bit all this stuff for latest version. But if you go to the previous one, I think there is an option called, yeah, previous releases, right? You can see here previous releases. Suppose say you can go with the any latest version 3.14.359. Click here. Okay, so this is the part, you can click it here, Selenium server standalone jar file. Okay, so if you click it here, might be it's unzip format, after that it look like that, Selenium server standalone file. So this is the way it will look like, right? Just like in case also click it, so automatically will be downloaded. Okay, if you go to the download, yeah, automatically it is coming, you can save it in your desktop. Okay, or any folder, that not be a problem. So this is the third one. Fourth one is that you can automate with any browser, right? In case you want to automate with the Chrome browser or Firefox browser, so for you need to download the Chrome driver. In case you need to go with the Firefox browser, you need to go with the Gecko driver. Okay, this is the site already there. So before that, you need to check the browser version. Okay, so nowadays I think last 2 or 3 months some problem came into the Chrome browser version 116. Okay, so you could see how can you get the browser version. So you can open the browser, triple dot, you can click on the help and about, right, about Google Chrome. So you can get the version. So you could see what is the version 116. So you need to install the driver based on the version of your system. So in case your system is having 113, so you need to install 113 only, not 116. Okay, so this is the official site I have given for the Chrome driver. Yeah, this is the site, you can simply go here. But now you could see the problem is there. I think 2 or 3 months back the problem came, 1 month back, because here you could able to see till 104, 113 like that, but 116 no official version is available in the Chrome, right, particular sites. But they have given something, right, current releases. If you are using Chrome version 105, 15 or newer, please consult the Chrome for testing availability dashboard. In case you are going for the another version, you can simply click it here, you can go that one. But here in case you are using beyond 115, you can click here. After that you could see here these are the different link will be provided, right, stable link for 116. So you can click here, and now you can go here. It is for the browser in case you want to download the browser, but in case you want to use the driver, in case you are using Linux, in case you are using Mac, then you can use it, and in case you are using like Chrome driver, you can use that one, that link. Simply you can open it. Okay, you could see it's downloaded, right, Chrome driver. You can open it here, and you can double click, and you can Chrome driver, you can get it, you can paste, copy and paste it any of the driver. So it's already there in my, you could see here in my desktop. Like this is for Gecko driver, mean Firefox browser, and this is for the Chrome driver, it will be for the Chrome browser. So this is the 4 stuff you need to do. Similarly, if you want to go for the Firefox browser, you can go to the particular site, and this site, right, you could see here these are the different browser available. So you could able to see 0.33 means which browser version. You could see any version beyond 112, right. Similarly, you can click here, and that one. Okay, Gecko driver 64-bit Linux or Mac. Similarly, in case you are using like anything less than 112, so you can go, right, that version you can check it, and you can similarly download it, and you can write, copy and paste it any of the folder, any of the you can create it in desktop, or you can create a folder like that, you can store it. So this is the first 4 stuff you need to do. First one is you need to install the Java, then you need to install the Eclipse or IntelliJ, then you need to install the jar file for Selenium WebDriver. Then you need to install the driver for the Chrome browser, it's Chrome driver, and for the Firefox browser it will be Gecko driver. This is the first 4 thing you need to do to start your journey in the Selenium automation. Then Eclipse part also I have mentioned it, right? What are the thing you need to do? First, once opening the Eclipse, so you need to set the workspace. After the workspace is done, it will be look like that, like Eclipse. Then you need to create a project first. So you need to click on File, then click on New and Java project. So here will be first will be learning how to create Java project and interact with them, and also I will be covering how to create Maven project as well down the line, and how you can, instead of the adding the jar file manually, how you can add the dependency like that. So File, New and Java project. Here you can give the project name, right? Suppose say Selenium like September 23 batch. Yeah, Ravi, tell me. Maven project means, so here in the Java project, right, we need to manually add all the jar file manually. Suppose say today you are using version say like 3 versions. Suppose give me example, but tomorrow version got upgraded to 4. So thing will not work, right? So you need to again manually download the version 4, and then from the project you need to manually remove the version 3. You need to manually add the version 4. But in case it's a Maven project, there will be another thing will be generated which is called pom.xml file, which is called project object model. And in that pom.xml file you can add all the dependency, and all the dependency URL, something just 3 or 4 line of code you can add it from the Maven side, and automatically as and when you are adding the thing into the Maven pom.xml file, automatically Maven will try to download those relevant, right, jar file to the project. And say tomorrow the version got changed from 3 to 4, you can simply update that version number from 3 to 4. So what Maven will do, automatically it will remove the right previous version, and automatically it will download the new version. So that is the automation process. So that is the reason in the real time we can go with the Maven, but here it will be learning Java and Maven both, no worry. Yeah, right. So sometimes it will depend. Sometimes customer says that no, you can go with the Java project. Sometimes based on the thing you can go with the Maven project. So click on next and simply click on finish. Your project will be created. You could see Selenium September 23 batch, right? This project got created, right? And here you could see Java library got added. So automatically Java project, all the Java library means all the Java interfaces, classes and the method. Right now no need to worry. So once the basic 2 session is over, I will be covering all the Java. Then you can able to learn what is class, what is what is interfaces, what is method, all this stuff. Right now no need to focus on much. So automatically all the Java related things associated to the project level. And in the SRC file, right, there is nothing. So first what you need to do, in the SRC folder you need to create a package. How to create a package? Right click, new, there is an option called package. So I can create something called training. Okay. So project name should always start with caps letter, there is no space, and package name should start with the lowercase, no space. Then once the package is created, you can create a class. So again file new class, Java class. So say I can give something called session 1, right, because this is session 1, and you need to select public static void main. This is the main method in case you are having Java project. So main method is always required, otherwise your program execution will not happen. So you can just select that one. I will discuss what is public static void main in the Java session, no worry. Okay, otherwise you will be confused now. So they automatically your project got created, right? This is the main method, public static void main. Now if you want to write something here, so you can use a command called system.out.println. So you can, through which that method you can print something. So you no need to write everything, you can press SYSO and press Control spacebar from the keyboard at the same time, Control spacebar. automatically you could see method is coming system.out.println. This is the method for printing something in the console window, and you can see it's giving something called fast, right, Selenium code, Selenium Java code. Okay, now you can run your code, compile and run it. So in compilation some error is there, it will be right, error will be thrown out. Suppose in case you are removing the semicolon, right, immediately you could see there is some compilation error, right, cross mark, right, syntax error to complete the block statement, that is the compilation error. If you save it, automatically you will throw the error. Here is compilation, no compilation error. Now you can run your code, run as, right click, run as Java application. Slowly you will be learning lot of things. Without the main method also you can run it using test engine. So you could see now in the console window the output is coming whatever we have given within the double quote, because that is the string, right? Its string can be alphanumeric character value. So this part is coming. So that is the reason you need to give it in string. So that will be covered in the data type Java first session. No worry. So that is the way you can start your project. Start creating something, and then you can write your code. Okay, but now we need to deal with the Selenium. So what we need to do, right? I cannot access any Selenium related stuff. So what I need to do, I need to associate the Selenium jar file first. So my Java already added, my Maven, sorry, my Eclipse also installed. I have created a new project also. Then I also downloaded two things. One is Selenium WebDriver and Gecko driver or the Chrome driver, right? So third step I am implementing now. Right click, go to the properties, go to the Java build path and click on the add external jars, right? Then you can go to your desktop wherever this thing is added, right? Selenium server standalone, double click, apply and close. So automatically you could see now the reference library folder got created, and here you could able to see the Selenium server standalone file got added, jar file got added. So now means you can access the thing, all the interfaces, all the classes in the Selenium, from the Selenium into your class or your project. That is the way. This is third step. Now I will try to automate basic simple browser, right, using Selenium WebDriver. So you can comment it out. In case you comment out any single line, you can give double slash. So your code will be there, but you could see the code got color got changed, means that will not be executed. Code will be there in your Eclipse, but that is getting commented out. Okay. In case you are having multiple line, you can use slash star and star slash. So that will be covered in the Java, no worry. So this is the Java part. So what I will be doing it now, I need to create some simple script to open a web page. Okay, any web page. So what I will be doing, first thing I will be setting the Chrome driver first. Okay, so you need to call system. System is a class, predefined class in Java. Dot. There is a method called set property from the Selenium. You could see set. If you press system and press dot, automatically all the method whatever available system class will be coming here one by one. You can type set. So there is a method called set property, and you could see there is a two key, right? It is coming from the system class, to key and value pair. So you need to give the key and value. So for Chrome driver, key will be web driver dot Chrome dot driver. It will be fixed only always for the Chrome driver. In case it is a Firefox driver, it will be WebDriver dot Gecko dot driver. That is the only difference. And the null part, you need to give the path of the Chrome driver wherever it is installed. You don't need to worry anything. So this is my Chrome driver. You can simply select it, right click and go to the properties, right? And you could see this is the path. This is the path, right? So I will first copy the path. Here within the again double quote, you can give the path. Okay, and then again you need to give slash slash here, it will not understand single slash. So path given, then this is the name of the Chrome driver file, right? Exe file. Then dot, what is the extension? Exe. So this part also you need to give it, means it is recognizing complete folder, and need to end with semicolon. Now you could see error message gone. So this is the first part for setting the Chrome driver properties. So WebDriver.Chrome.driver, this is the key, and value is the complete Chrome driver path. So this is the path, this is the folder name, file name, and this is the extension. In case a doc file, it will be docs. In case it is xls.xls, like that. So this is the path where it is present desktop. This is the name of the Chrome driver exe file, and this is the extension of the exe. Now I will be creating a object or instance. Right now no need to focus much. So object means any interfaces or any class you can create an object. But for any interfaces you can directly cannot create an object, or interfaces cannot be instantiated. That is the Java concept. So in case you can create a class for the you can create an object or instance for the class directly, but for the interfaces, in case you want to create, you require the help from some class. So here WebDriver is the interfaces available in Selenium. So this is the exact word you need to mention along with uppercase, lowercase. WebDriver is the interface. You can create an object or instance called driver equal to. You cannot create an object or instance for the WebDriver interfaces directly. You need to take help from the Chrome driver. New Chrome driver. So that is the way you need to create an object or instance. Now you could see some error messages coming. Why? Because this code is not able to understand what is WebDriver, what is Chrome driver, because this is not the Java properties. This is coming from the Selenium WebDriver jar file, Selenium server standalone jar file. Now you could see it is giving you suggestion, right, to import WebDriver from where? org.openq.selenium packages. So I can import it. Again another error message because it is not able to understand the Chrome driver. So you can mouse it over, you can see import Chrome driver from the org.openq.selenium.chrome. Now error message gone. Now you could see there is a warning message YOLO. Red is error message, you cannot proceed. Warning message is YOLO, which means whatever driver object you have created, there is no harm at all, but you did not use it anywhere. That is the reason it is giving is warning message. Now I will be maximizing my browser first. After creating the object for instance, I will be maximizing the browser. Driver is the object, driver dot manage. You could see manage is coming from the WebDriver and it is within the options method, right? Dot window. Again window is coming from the options. Dot maximize is the method. What is the return type? This is called the name from the root or the parent from where this method is coming, and this is called return type. Is void means it will not return anything, it will simply do the action. Void means null, means it will not return anything in the console, it will simply do the action. Then if you want to open a page, you need to call the method called get. Everything will be covered down the line because in a single thing it cannot be synced. So after 3 or 4 sessions you will be able to sync everything, because Java and to Selenium WebDriver will be covered, then you can sync everything. This is the method get. It is coming from where? You don't need to remember anything. It is coming from the WebDriver interfaces, right? And it is a method name is get, where you need to pass string argument, means within double quote. String means within double quote. And return type is void, means it will not return anything, it will simply do the action. Now here you need to pass the URL if you want to open any website. So I want to open the Facebook page. So just open Facebook and just copy it, because here you need to give the HTTPS part, otherwise it will not work. Okay, now see. Okay, now let's try to automate it. This is the first line of code automated. Now you could see what is happening. It will open the Chrome browser, it will maximize it, it will just like launching the Google Facebook page. So it's automated, right? Let's close it again. Let's try to run it. So I have creating the object or instance for the WebDriver, and this is the way I have set up the properties for the Firefox browser, for the Chrome browser. And in case you want to automate the Firefox browser, download the Firefox browser driver based on your system. That is your task, right? Home task. Then here you can give webdriver.gecko.driver, because for the Firefox browser it is gecko.driver. You can save in your desktop, you can give the name and the exe file, and here it will be WebDriver driver equal to new Gecko driver, Firefox browser driver. Instead of Chrome driver, it will be Firefox driver. That is the only two change you need to do. So here it will be webdriver.gecko.driver and the path of the Firefox browser, and here it will be same again, WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver, right? That is the two thing, and you can do practice it and try to do from your end. Otherwise next class I will show you. in case having any trouble. How to automate the Firefox browser as well. So that part you can try based on the Chrome driver thing, and any challenges will again show you in the next session or next session. So that is the way, right? I have automated single page, right? I am able to launch the page. Okay. So class name should be uppercase, interface name should be uppercase, method name should be lowercase, variable name should start with the lowercase, package name should be lowercase. These are the different concepts you can maintain. So this is the code I have already given here. You can just check it with. This is the code also given for the Firefox browser also. You could see WebDriver.Gecko.driver here. WebDriver driver equal to Firefox driver. Sometime also you can create global driver declaration. WebDriver driver, and here you can use driver.new Firefox driver. Okay. Then before the locator, I will be covering this part. Then I will go to the locator last. So what are the different web page operation you can do? So you can get the title, right? So how can you get the title? So you can use SYSO directly printing the title. Driver is the object reference dot, right? You could see there is a method coming called get title. So what it will return? It is coming from the web driver. What is return? String, means it will return the string of the web title. So it will be printed out. Now you can also use another line. Instead of one single line, you can use another line. So let's say driver dot get current URL, right? So to get the current URL of the page, you could see it is coming from the web driver. A return type is string, so I can simply use it, and I can store in some string variable. String is the return type. String is return type, and say suppose say current URL. That is the variable I can create and store it. Now in the next line, I can print that variable. Why sometimes store in variable? So that this variable I can use n number of times, right? Otherwise I have to use that same time. That is the reason you can also store it some variable. Now this will be giving you the output here in the console. So it will work in the same way, but you will be getting the output. You could see the page is getting open, and here you could see the output, right? This is the right page title, and this is the current URL. So that is the way also you can validate. You can match that thing is working or not properly or not. Okay, and the page source means it will give you the page source. Okay, using the same method, get page source, is same way you can use. Then few of the important API commands, right, for a browser you can use. So you could see wherever I mentioned get. What is get? It navigate to the intended web page, means you can navigate to a particular web page. And if you want to close the browser, focus browser only, you can use close, driver.close. In case you are having multiple browser, you can use quit, so that all the browser will be quit. Then if you want to go for one page to another page, you can use navigate to, right? So let's comment it out. This three line, you can select this three line, and simply you can go to the source. There is an option called add block comment. Automatically all this line will be commented, right? You could see, and its color is getting changed to green, means it will be there but it will not be impacted. So driver dot navigate, right, dot to, and here you could see its return type is void, and here you need to give the string of the other URL. In case you want to open the Google page, you can navigate. Okay, then you can navigate back, driver dot, okay, driver dot navigate dot back. If you want to navigate back to the previous URL, dot navigate dot back. Right. Then you can again navigate forward, driver dot navigate dot forward. And if you want your page is not fully loaded, you can refresh the thing, right? So you can again navigate forward to move single item forward in the browser history. If you want to refresh it, you can simply refresh it, driver dot navigate dot refresh, driver dot navigate. I will just take your question. Okay, I think whoever is the query, give me 1 minute time, dot refresh. Then you can close or quit the browser. So driver dot close or quit, you can use it. So automatically it will close the browser as well after opening it. Now your execution will be too fast because it will take only 2 or 3 seconds time to complete the operation. You will not able to see it, right? So what you can do, you can give some thread time. So thread is a time, right, where you will be sleeping, means it will ideally simply waiting. So 2 seconds I can wait, right, for every skip. So, but it is not recommended to give in the real time project, real time code. So you can use it during the practice part, or sometime it is really required, then but you can give. So as and when we will be using thread dot sleep, you need to surround with try catch block or some declaration. Here you need to use exception. So for every line I can give some 2 minutes thread time. So that you could able to understand the actual execution. That is the reason. Now let's try to run it. So what will happen? It will first open the Chrome browser, maximize it. It will launch the Facebook page. Wait for 2 seconds. It will go to the Google page. Wait for 2 seconds. Go to the Facebook page again. Back. Wait for 2 seconds. Go to the forward again Google page. Wait for 2 seconds. Refresh the page. Wait for 2 seconds. Close the browser. So that is the way it's happening, right? But no output because we are using void return time here. Method is happening void return time. In case you want to use, right, the current URL every time, you can use it. SYSO method driver.get title of the current URL also for every iteration. So that is the way. These are the important API command, right, through which you can interact with the browser. You can open any new browser. You can maximize it, right? You can forward, backward. You can quit or close the browser. You can refresh the browser as well. Yes, Ravi. Uh-huh. Yeah, that part will be covered in the last. Okay. So here, first thing is that I will be covering the ABCD part. Okay. Once you are able to understand the ABCD, then I will be teaching, right, how to create a sentence. Right. Suppose say I am learning Selenium WebDriver. Then in the last 3 or 4 sessions, I will be covering how to create a pages or a book. So that is the way I will try to cover it. But until you are not able to understand the ABCD, or you are not able to create a single sentence, how you can go to the framework? That will not be covered. So that is the way I used to complete my topics. Yeah. Ha ha. So that is the way you are learning all the ABCD part, right here now. Standalone one. So framework part will be the last 5 sessions. Okay. Once you are getting the good confidence. Yeah, yeah. That will be covered in the last 3 5 sessions only. Yeah. So here, because those things we will try to implement in the later time as an integrated way. Okay. Because here we are learning the component wise, and then every component will be integrated and will be product. Similar way also framework also. Okay. So I will take a pause before going to that locator part. Any other questions? Mm-hmm. Business case means somehow, say, suppose say in case you want to check that your, right, in case you are navigating to a particular suppose say, just I'm business case means, suppose say you have a page. Okay, suppose say you have clicked something, right, and it is navigating to the other topics, but again after clicking or after doing some operation you need to back to the previous page, right? So that is my business case. Then only you can able to get the other field and you can validate it. Yeah, yeah, it will throw you the error, nah, it will be throwing you the error, then you can validate that it is not working, right? Yeah, definitely. In case it is not working, it will throw the error, and you can also already get to know that what is my expected. Then you can match it, the expected and actual. Then automatically your practice will pass or fail, right? So that is the way you can add assertion. Slowly you will be learning it. Yeah. Anyone others? Any other questions by anyone? So are you able to get something, guys? Yeah, yeah. So yes, that is the reason I told, right? So you need to like give that time. So I will be trying to cover. That is the reason. Document also created. I'll be sharing the document every session. I'll be sharing the sample codes also. You can go through the recorded session, right? And you can practice by your own. And even still any question, right? We can discuss it on the next day also. So that is the way. Slowly, initial time you need to give more time. Okay, then right, slowly once you are having the grips, right, it will be very easier for you to go down the line. No, no, I'll be sharing. Okay, once the session is over, I'll be sharing for every session. I'll be sharing the code and the document, and I'll be also uploading the recorded video in the YouTube. Once uploaded, I'll be sharing the link as well, so that you can go and like go through a number of times. Yeah, because in a single session, sometimes you might miss, na. So that part you need to go through, right? So that is the reason video will be recorded. Session will be recorded. Okay. Anyone else? Any questions? Are you able to match my frequency, guys? I'm going too fast. Is good. Okay. Yeah, theoretical part sometimes get faster, but practical part I used to go very slow. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I try to reduce it. No worry. Okay, cool. So as of now, we already know, right, how to open a page, how to do the kind of API related stuff like using the browser. But in case it is not the browser, I need to interact with some field, right? It's a Facebook page. There are some field I want to interact. I want to get the properties. I want to add some value. I need to click some button like that. So these are called, right, locator. The locator can be termed as an address that identifies a web element uniquely within the web page. Locator are the HTML properties of the web element. Element locator are common for all the browsers. It does not matter which browser you are using, Safari, Chrome or Firefox. It does not matter. There is a diverse range of web element available in any web page. The most common web element are edit box, checkbox, text box, drop down box, combo box, button, hyperlink, link, radio button, image, web table frame. I mean, most common only. There might be other element as well. So how you can identify the element and how you can get the properties and how you can interact with that. So first thing is that you need to open the page, any browser. Then you need to press F12 button from the keyboard. F12 button, right? F12 button. Automatically you could see this, the right section is coming up, popping up, right? There's an inspected button available, and you can click on that. You can mouse it over to any of the field which you want to interact, right? So say this is the field I want to interact. You could see now these are the properties of the field into the website. So if you want to get the details from here, you can want to copy text file, right? Text file. You can use simply copy element, and you can open a notepad here or text pad, anything, right? You can paste it here. Now you could see the first thing is called tag name. So based on the tag name, I could let you know that this is the field, all this type and the type. So tag name input and type equal to text means this is text field, right? In case tag name is div, this is table. In case tag name is a, this is link or hyperlink. In case tag name is like kind of img or src, it will be image, right? In case tag name is input and type equal to radio, this will be radio button. In case tag name equal to input and type equal to say checkbox, it will be checkbox. In case tag name is select, it will be drop down. So that is the way slowly you can learn what is the tag name signifies. I already shared the cheat sheet you guys, right? You can refer it. Apart from that, I will be sharing again all the document at the last once topic is covered. So that is the way you can learn what is the significance of each and every tag name. Now it's a text field, right? So how I can interact with this particular text field, how can I understand this text field with the help of the code, and how can I add the value. Okay, so there are 8 different element locator techniques available: id, class name, right? Link text, partial link text, css, expert. So in case your normal field, you can go with the id, name, class name. In case it's a link hyperlink, you can go with the link text, partial link text. In case none of the field is available or the field is available, still you are not able to read the element, you can go with the CSS or XPath. So for CSS and XPath I will be covering in tomorrow's session, which is a huge area. Okay, so how you can use it? Divert.find element, in case you are having id or the name, you can use by.id or name and you can give the corresponding value. So let's see for this field what are the things available. So class is available, but in case some the class there is space available, it will not interact, it will not able to read it, and in case there is no space, you can use the class. But here you could see there is a space available, so you cannot use that class, it will throw the, it will not able to identify. Name is available, id is available, but this particular value should be unique in the web page, otherwise in case it is not unique, it will not able to again identify element properly. So those part you will slowly learning, but here I know that name equal to email and id equal to email is unique, so I can identify the element with name or email, anything, right? This is the properties or the element locator, right? And this is the corresponding value. So how I can identify the element? See, okay, let's comment it out, this part after opening the Facebook page. So driver dot find element, this is the method. So find element means it will interact only for one element, find elements means it will interact for the multiple element, and so the find element you could see return type is web element, and here list of web element. So in case you are directly calling, you can use by dot like name or id, because those are same only, like email, and here you can give the corresponding value. So name, what is name or id? Email, right? This corresponding value in the double quote, and it's a text field, so I can use again after the thing is there dot button, and send key is the method for entering any value, right? Send keys. So say I want to enter Haradhan, right? So that is the way you can do go with the name, class name or id element locator. Okay, tag name part I will cover tomorrow. Okay, and CSS expert part I will cover tomorrow session. And in case it's a link text or hyperlink text, right? You can also use it link text in case it's a link or hyperlink. So after entering the value, I want to click in the forget password. Let's try to mouse it over to the element. You could see now a link, but there is no other attribute called id, name, class name, nothing is there. Then how can I do it? So in case it's a link, you can use the text properly, and you can use link text or partial link text. So in case you are using link text, so you need to give the proper link, complete link text. In case you are using partial link text, so you can give the static part, right? Previous or the next last part. So why partial link text is came into the market? Sometimes there is a huge link, but sometimes some of the part used to get changed every time. So you cannot use it for the long run, right? So you can use only the static part, and you can ignore the dynamic part. So you can use partial link text. So apart from that, directly calling it, I can use it some web element for the link. Divert dot find element again. You could see that return type is web element, which is the interface in Selenium WebDriver again. Find element by dot link text. What is link text? This is the forgotten password. Okay, and I can store it into web element. Why I can create a web element also? So that this particular, say what is the thing, a password link, that is the variable I can create link, so that in case I need to use that variable n number of time, I can use it n number of time. So here some error message is coming because we need to import the web element interface from the org.Selenium, because it is not Java properties. Now I can use the simple that variable, and this is the link I can use the click operation. Okay, so that is the way it will be done. Now let's try to run the code and let's see what happens. You will open the Facebook page, maximizing it, then to enter the female field and clicking on the link, right? You could see hyperlink. You can give some wait time, thread time, maybe 3 seconds here, so that you can able to understand whether thing is happening, right? You could see after 3 seconds forgotten password link is getting clicked. Suppose in case you are using partial link text, here instead of link text, partial link text, by dot partial linked test. This is also element locator, and you can give the partial value, right? What is the value? Again, forgotten password. So instead of that, I can use simply forgotten, because partial part, right? I can give the partial part, so that part I can remove it, because that should be unique only. You can use it, and here instead of name also you can use ID, because ID value is also email, right? This particular thing, ID value is also email, name is also email. You can use it, right? You can see here I have used. Okay, I need to give another backup. Now your code will still work, because you are using other properties, element locator properties. Your code will still work. So unless in case able to identify the uniquely thing, it will work, right? You could see link Haradhan given and forgotten password link also click. So code is still working. Yeah, the other tag name, right? Class, in case there is no space only you can use it. In case there is that space is not available, you can use it, but this kind of sometime you cannot use it because there is a space available. That is the reason it will be creating the problem. Otherwise you can use, right, driver.find element by dot class and the value, and again it will try to interact it. Then tag name part I will be covering it tomorrow's session. And CSS and XPath. So how to get the default CSS XPath? So here instead of you can use by dot XPath or by dot CSS selector. So this is the thing will be coming, right? So say this per line I can comment it out, and you can use say driver dot find element, which is default one, right? We can still create customized XPath, which by dot XPath, right? You can see XPath or by dot CSS selector. This is the another like web element locator, you can use it, CSS selector, and here you can give the value. So in case you want to get the CSS selector default one, so you can right click here and you can go copy, you can go for copy XPath or CSS selector. So I'll simply copy it, CSS selector, which is the default one, and I can simply paste in my code. But sometime it might not work, that's the problem. Why? That is the reason we need to create our own thing. Okay, I will show you tomorrow session. In case this thing is not working, how we can create our own CSS or XPath, because this is the huge area. It will take around 1 hour time to complete only CSS XPath. Let's see in case it's working with the default one. Otherwise, most of the time it might not. No, it is not working. It is throwing the error. Okay, you could see now it's throwing the error. What is the error? Selenium no such exception element, right? Whatever thing we have given, it is not able to identify it. Okay, and which line number, right? Line number you could see, able to see here. Session 1 is the class name and line number 90. It is showing the error. So that is the way you could able to understand and you can debug your code. So now instead of the CSS selector, right, you can go with the XPath also, or you can go with the ID, right, or name. Now it should again work. So this might default path might not work, you no need to worry. Tomorrow's class we will learn how to deal with that. Okay. Yes, I think one questions. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Pankuri. Yeah, here XPath means like XPath means is relative XPath, and a full XPath means absolute XPath. I will cover it tomorrow. So relative XPath means like you can take a reference and from where you can create the XPath, and absolute means you can go from the root parent, then you can go slowly child, child, subchild, subchild, and go from the top to bottom. So that is the reason. Okay, full XPath means it will give you the navigation from the right from the parent object to the child object, but a normal XPath means is the absolute XPath. So those part will be covered tomorrow so that you can get more understanding. I'll give you some also example also. Okay, that is the reason 2 XPath is there. Yeah, Samida. Yeah. Yeah. Everything will be covered. No worry, no worry. Dynamic component, static component will be covered. How to create the XPath. Yeah. Because that is the reason it will take more than 1 hour only for the XPath and CSS. It is a huge area. Okay. Because your automation, especially for the Selenium, right, your like 30% weightage will be there on the XPath and field identification only. So field identification is a huge complex thing. right? So that is the reason you need to learn more and more on the season expert, so that you will be identifying the element. In case you are not able to identify the element, then how you can interact, right? How you can do the operation. Okay, so that is the reason element locator is having huge dependency on the Selenium automation. Yeah, any other questions? Anyone? Okay, cool. So tag name, XPath and CSS will be covered tomorrow's session. This part covered. Yeah. Yes, Hasmi, tell me. Okay. No, no. Now I am the first one I have told, right? That theoretical part maybe I have covered in maybe first, but now it's like it should be fine, right? Because I am giving space more and more pause also. Anyway, we will try to reduce it. No worry. But yeah, you can because in case you are completely right coming, but everything will be from the scratch only. That is the reason automation is having the demand in the market, guys, right? In case you are like simply able to understand and able to implement it, you cannot do. But I will try to cover in my own way, means very easiest way, so that it will be very easier for all of you to understand. But that effort, in case you are giving it, because in case you are really right without zero knowledge, but you need to give more and more effort on it. That is the difference. But nothing is right that nobody can learn it. No, if you can learn it, so maybe in other person might be giving 4 hours, you need to give 6 hours. That is the only difference. So that is the thing. You just try by your own. Let me know for any hurdles. I will definitely try to help you out. No worry. Yeah, I'll be giving you all the videos. You can go through one or two more time for basically for the 1 or 2 weeks. That will be real hurdle. Okay. Okay. So that is the reason I used to give some buffer time. Okay. In case you want, like I can extend the thing to instead of 2 months to 2.5 months also. So I can maybe cover 4 to 5 sessions in a month. Right? In case you need to do the practice also. But at the end of the day, I'll be giving you the space also, so that you can learn. It is not that I have to complete the session and you have to simply joining it and completing. No, there is no point. So you need to understand each and everything thoroughly. You need to practice it. You need to go through the video, document, code, right? You need to practice all the way whatever I am like letting you know. For every session I'll be giving you some hands-on only there also, right? That is the way. Try it. Let me know what the challenges you are facing. We'll solve it also in the next class. That is the way. It will be more and more interactive. It is not only the one-way communication. You should learn it properly. But yeah, in case you are right real zero background knowledge, it might be difficult. Sometimes you need to give the extra time only. That is the only thing. Okay. Any other anyone? Yeah, but initial time, like most of the student, right, they need to give additional time to learn the thing. Okay, to so that they can go through maybe couple of time to the videos, right, the document, do the practice. Okay, sometimes they'll be struggling, so I used to help them, right, offline, one to one, make them understand sometime. So once you get the space, like 3 or 4 classes over, right, then you can get it. Yeah. So doubt clearing will be there. Maybe after session is over, 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes time I used to give daily basis, right? Then those part will be covered. But yeah, in case you are referring my videos, document, or the sample code, right? 90% doubt will be automatically cleared only. Okay. In case still doubt, we will be discussing in the next session, or maybe in case you are having specific problem, one-to-one problem, we can connect it based on my convenient time, 10, 15 minutes time. We can sort it out, especially for the installation part, like configuration part, all this stuff. Okay, cool. Then the last two topics, like what are the operation we can do on the WebEdit box as well as on the link. So as of now you already see, right, how to interact, how to identify the element, and how to do the operation. So here let's go with the same field only. So that is the way you can comment it out. In case it's multiple line, in case you can single line, you can automatically comment it out. Okay. Now say here I can see store in sub web element. because this particular field I want to interact multiple times, right? So what I can do, I can store in some web element. What is the field? Email field, right? Email field I want to interact. Email field, okay. So email text, that is the way I can give the name so that everybody can understand. Okay, email text field. Okay, okay, this is my field. Now what are the operation I can do for the WebEdit field? I can make check first whether it's enabled or not, displayed or not. I can enter the value, and I can also check the attribute. I can clear the value also after the enter value is entered. So let's check whether it's enabled for displayed or not, because that is the way in the real time also you need to check, right? In case you are doing automation, UI automation, so you need to check the first enabled or not. So it will be giving me true or false, right? So this is my text field. Dot is displayed. First thing is that field is visible or not, is displayed, right? Then I can check whether it's enabled, then only I can add the value. So this is the way you can just validate is enabled, right? You could see this is enabled, is displayed. In case it is checkbox or drop down, you can use is selected. Then you can add some value. Dot send keys, right? Suppose say 30. What value I want to add? Say user name 123, like that. Then you can clear the value, so you can give some thread time, thread dot maybe 3 seconds, so that you can understand the value is entering and getting clear, right? So that field name dot clear, and again you can enter new value, right, once it is clear. So instead of 1 2 3 I can enter 4 4 5 6. Now let's try to run the code. So first thing is that it will be displayed, it will be giving true or false boolean value. True displayed here, if that is my expectation, right? Also true. Enabled, then only I can add the value. In case it is giving false, then definitely your remaining line of code will be false, failure, because disabled you cannot enter any value. That is the way you are real time also checking it, right? Assertion, you can give the assertion. I will slowly let you know. Okay, you could see the value entered. After 3 seconds it got cleared, removed, and again username 456 entered. First initially that was entered, waited for 3 seconds, cleared the value, and now it's got entered username 456, right? Let's try to close it, and again let's try to run it. So what line of code I have written? I have first setting the properties for the Chrome diver, right? WebDriver.com.diver, and this is the Chrome diver path and exe file. I am creating the object or instance for the WebDriver, but WebDriver you could see this is the interface I, right? That is the reason WebDriver I cannot create an object instance directly, so I have to use the take help from the Chrome diver, which is the class. You could see now it is coming from that package, it's a class, and I am maximizing the driver. I am trying to load the page, so with the help of the driver.get particular page, then I want to identify the element which is called email field. So element identification is possible through different 8 web element locator technique: id, name, class name, then your tag name, link text, partial link text, CSS and XPath. Sometimes CSS XPath might not work, default one, so you need to create your own CSS XPath. That part I'll be covering it. How to create your own CSS XPath will be very easy. Okay. Sometimes some of the field, right, email ID, name, class name, link, partial link, nothing will be available, or sometimes it's available, but every time it is changing, volatile. So these are the how then you can interact with the element. So that is the thing you'll be learning every time. And in case that for a particular field, right, you need to interact with multiple time for multiple operation, so it's better to store in some web element. Okay, so it's better to store in some web element, so that, right, that particular variable you can call it n number of times, because this particular field I want to check whether it's displayed or not. I want to check whether it's enabled or not. That is my next one. Once it is enabled, I want to enter some value, and after enter value I want to clear some value. Sometime that value is not correct, and I want to enter the value. So that is the thing you can try for the WebEdit box. Then last one is like attribute. Sometime for the WebEdit field I can get the different attribute also. That I want to print out the attribute. I need to check whether the type equal to text is the attribute, class is the attribute, is the value, name is the attribute, is the value, right? Data underscore hyphen test ID is the attribute, and the value is royal hyphen element. This part you need to do. Then how can you do it? Okay, so the thing is that let's use it, right? The email dot text, email field only. This is the field. So you can use SOISO to direct print out dot get attribute is the method, and here you need to pass the different attribute name. Suppose say I want to print out first the type, and value will be text, so I need to validate type. Okay, and same line I can copy it. I can use n number of print n number of attributes, so that I can validate it in the real time, right? I can type, I can attribute that can be validated. I can use class attribute value. In case any attribute is not available, it will give you the blank result. No name, ID. So this is the attribute, and the corresponding value will be printed out in the console. So it will open the page, it will enter the value and clear the value after 3 seconds, right? And again it will printed out all the remaining part. You could see this is true, right? Because this is the two part, enable and displayed. This coming as true in the console. SOISO means it will print something. Now attribute, what is type? Type equal to text. You could see here type equal to text. This is the tag name, and next one it will be attribute and the corresponding value in the blue. And then class input text hyphen 55 RL, something like that. That is the class name is coming. Then next one in the code, then name, ID, which is the value is email, right? Name equal to email, ID equal to email. Now you can go to the console, you could see now it's coming email. That is the way, right? You can also check that attribute is also properly coming based on the expectation. That is the way you are doing. You can do in like all kind of UI testing for the specific to the field, for the input field. And I will let you know what are the different things you can do for image, checkbox, radio button, and the link. And for the link, right, what are the things you can do? Similar way, you can just check whether the link is displayed first. In case it is displayed, you need to check whether it's enabled or not. In case it is enabled, you can click the link. This is the three operations you can do for the link. So here you could already see this is the link already, right? We have already tried to identify the link using that, one. So let's go with that also. So now I already have the link. Now I can print out to check whether the link is enabled or not, right? Displayed or not. First thing is that link is displayed. Then link is enabled. Then we can click the link. Dot is enabled. So that is the sequence also you need to check. First whether the thing is visible. Then in case it is visible, whether is enabled, means whether I can enter something, click something or not. In case it is enabled, then I can add the value or click it. In case the radio button or checkbox, I need to see whether is already some value is checked or not, right? So these are the way I can interact based on the element type. Now you can just run your code and see that for the link also it will work accordingly. It will giving me true. It displayed it enabled, and also after that you will try to click on the link. In case you any element you want to use multiple times, you should better to save it into some web element locator, and that will help you, right, to use n number of time. Why? Because suppose say you are directly using that part, and tomorrow suppose say by partial linked list is not working, right? So that what you can do, you can just change only one line of code here only. You can update it automatically. Remaining line of code where that property is being used, automatically it will be affected. Otherwise, in case suppose say tomorrow instead of forgotten to get changed, and in case you are not creating it for generic way, you need to update all n number of lines. That is the reason it is better to create and store in some web element, and then this web element variable you can use n number of time. I will recapture all the topics whatever has been covered, then we will go for any questions in case you are having anything. So software testing is nothing but matching with the actual behavior with the expected behavior, which is requirement here. Right, you can do n number of testing starting with unit testing done by the developer, then you can go with the functional testing where you can do with the system integration end to end, right, regression, sanity, all this stuff, and then you can go as part of the non-functional testing of the NFR testing. You can go with security, stage, load, performance, okay, and also you can go the user accepted testing as part of the end user UAT. Because of error, fault will be coming, but in case you are not fixing those fault, failure will be there. Like error can be there because of human defect, phone thing, miscommunication, complexity of the technology, poorly documented code, all this stuff. Testing should follow 80-20 principle. Testing should be done at the earliest to identify the uncovered defect. Right, in case you are not able to getting the exhaustive time, you can go with the risk based testing. Testing should be done by the third party requirement, and it should be purely focused on the requirement. So automation testing, in case you are doing the manual testing, it might take extra time, some risk might be there, some coverage might be missing, right, you might not be able to maintain the deadline, or the regression testing might take longer time. So first thing you need to go for the automation testing, where you need to find out the suitable tool based on your customer, and then suitable framework and programming language. So first you need to do the POC, or the proof of concept, where you can identify the tool. Then you need to calculate the ROI, or return on investment. It should be definitely positive, otherwise there is no point of automation. So you should focus on the area where you could be using maximum number of time, starting with data creation, sanity suit, regression suit, and then the build balance suit. After that you can go with the system integration on end to a part. So before automation, right, you need to find out that which tool is suitable, right, any in-house tool is there, your skill set is there or not, your product is already stable, requirement is stable or not. This kind of stuff you need to make a note. First planning, then design, then enhancement, then the debugging or running dry run, then analyzing the report, and then creating the proper summary report. There are a lot of tools available for API, performance, automation, few of the license, few of the free tool I have tried to demonstrate here. There are 4 types of Selenium component, IDE, then RC and WebDriver, joint. Selenium 2 and 3 and 9.4 is available. Selenium Grid is primarily used for the parallel or distributed testing. Selenium is open source. It supports Mac and Windows, Linux, different operating system. It supports different programming language. It supports different browser. It supports parallel testing as well. Okay, so in case you want to start your journey on the Selenium WebDriver, so you would require the 4 things. First you need to install the Java, then you need to install any ID, it can be Eclipse or IntelliJ. Then you would require the Selenium jar file, then you require the driver for the respective browser based on the browser version. Right, after that you need to launch, open the Eclipse, you need to set the workspace, you need to create a project, then package, and then the class. Right, you need to set up the property for the Chrome driver, you need to create an object or instance for the WebDriver using the Chrome driver class for the Chrome browser, you need to maximize the driver, you can pass some URL to launch the page. Well, locator is nothing but the different element through which you can identify it with different ID name, class name, tag name, link text, partial link text, is or expert. Right, you can get the title, get the page source, or get the current title of the browser using the driver properties. You can close the browser, you can navigate from one browser to another browser, you can navigate back, forward, refresh, or the maximize the page. In case it's a WebEdit box, right, your tag name will be input, right, and your type will be text always. Then you can easily understand it's a WebEdit box, right, by closing your eyes. And WebEdit box, first thing you need to check whether it's enabled, displayed. Then you can add some values with the help of send keys method. You can clear the value, you can get the different attributes also. In case it's a link, right, your tag name is always start with the anchor link or a, right. You can check the link is enabled, link is displayed, or you can able to click a link as well. So that's all from today's session, guys. Thank you.